Alright, so welcome to this Nioh 2 commentary run. This is Nioh 2 100% featherless and 100% with DLCs featherless. Basically, we are not allowed to use certain ninjutsu. We're not going to actually touch ninjutsu. And that means that we're going to have to dwell more into the combat tech. And we're going to use mainly the axe and yokai shift stuff, but besides that, my PB is a 132 something on 90% and 216 something on 90% with DLCs featherless. And my estimates are going to be 145 and 230. That's on PS4. I have a PS4 with SSD, and I'm waiting for a PS5 to be like actually up for grabs because it's kind of hard to have that happen. But yeah, if I am able to do that, then obviously the estimate could drop. And yeah, we're gonna start straight away. I'll explain more in a moment. Okay, so the reason why the timer is minus 21 is because that's the amount of time that it takes before the game actually starts after pressing yes. And yeah, in a PS5 obviously it would be different, or in another kind of PS4 without the SSD it would also be different. So yeah, we're in the interim. This is where you pick your stuff at the start of the game. We're gonna switch to low stance and change to main weapon 2 or melee weapon 2. This is for a small setup. Get the sword for movement mainly, and the axe for the main strats. Guardian Spirit selections, we're gonna get the Makami, which has the brute yokai shift, and yeah, it's gonna be very useful at the start of the run. This run is gonna use mainly the axe and also a couple of magics, but the biggest magic that we're gonna use is Purity, which is gonna do more key damage to enemies debuff with it, or if we do get debuff with Purity, then we also take more key damage, of course. But that's gonna come into play in the next mission. This mission we are not gonna have access to that. So now we'll get some small spirit stones for a setup of the, being able to set up the yokai shift later. I'm gonna prep the armor. We got rid of all the armor because it's not really useful at this point, but later on it will, so it's better we have that cleaned up. And I just set it up this fight so I don't have to worry about that yokai pool hampering my key recovery. Okay, I'm trying to aim for the head, but bad RNG. Okay, there we go. So we have the Maeda clan, which means on grapple we reduce the defense by a lot of the enemy. And we got the Enki Soul Core, which is very useful. Now we're gonna watch out for this arrow right there. We just baited it out, avoiding getting hit. And we got the Enki Soul Core right there prepared. Okay. So the Enki Soul Core has one main use, which is... Well, it has two main uses. One is avoiding attacks while attacking. Not all attacks, just some of them. And the other one is to reduce the red key. If we hit a weak point when with Enki, when the enemy is on red key, or the yokai actually, it will actually drop the red key to 0. Okay. So we got the key. That part is kind of concerning because if you get unlucky, you can just die. If you die, it's like a 40 or 50 second time loss. But we didn't have to deal with that. Skip the cutscene. We high stance to strong attack and wait for some attack and use the Enki to avoid while attacking. Do another Enki, and as you can see, we hit the Mizuki and drop a lot the red key. Now while he's transitioning, we'll keep attacking. And we avoid that attack again. No, and he's low enough HP where we can just finish the fight with another grapple. If you get rid of all his HP without grappling, you actually have to grapple again. So we are able to skip that if we just kill it by grappling. Okay, that was a bad menu. Okay, so we get rid of some menus right there. Get rid of this pop-up as well. And prep this menu. Okay. So we just got the Mizuki Soul Core. It's gonna be used in these next two fights. Well, not... yeah, the next two missions, rather. And never again. Not because it stops being good, it's just because there's an even better Soul Core popping. But yeah, Mizuki Soul Core, attune it, and we have the Mizuki and the Enki. Alright. So as you can see, this game is a mission-based game, and all missions are separated in 7 regions without the DLCs, 10 regions with the DLCs. And on average, each region has about 3 main missions and a bunch of side missions that we're not gonna touch. Okay, so coming up, there's another menu pop-up. Just get rid of it when we're low on key. And another menu pop-up right there. Now we're gonna fight Ippon Datara, which has a chance of giving us a strong Soul Core, but we're not actually gonna use it because it's not gonna be useful enough for the run, and it's also not a guaranteed drop. So you know, it's better if we don't depend on something that is random. Alright, so it's on red key now. As you can see, the red key is going down. We can hit it again a few times before grappling for more proficiency, and we get full proficiency. Nice. Okay, we're gonna get the Ippon Datara Soul Core, but just for the proficiency of the Shifling skill tree. We're gonna talk about that later. And if I didn't get the skill point for the axe, I would just fight this Gakis over here with the axe, because we need that skill point. Getting more items in the way for the setups. And over here we're gonna get another one, but it has a Gaki and a Yoki, which is kind of concerning. As you can see, yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Very, very concerning. Gakis have very quick attacks, and it was right next to the item, so if you get unlucky, that happens. So that's about a minute of a time loss, something like that. On hindsight, I guess on marathon runs I should get a shrine before that, but it is not very likely, but I guess I should do that. Yeah, you can see, like, we have to go through all of this again because of that. We already got the item, so we are not gonna get the shrine. There's no need. It's just that the Gakis and the strong enemies put together are very, very dangerous if you get unlucky. Alright, so we're moving on to the last room of this mission before the boss. Climb the ladder and go through this fire to the shrine section, but before getting the shrine we're gonna get something on the way. Which is the magic skill point in order to get the first magic of the run, which is gonna be Purity. And while I do this and get this key for getting access to the boss, I'm gonna talk about Confusion. So Confusion is probably the most important debuff in the whole run when it comes to dealing damage and doing setups. Confusion is between water, fire, lightning, purity and corruption, but not between purity and corruption. Okay. If you set up two of those debuffs on an enemy or on yourself, it will proc Confusion. So now we're gonna see what happens when you do that. Unlock, red counter, there we go. Okay, I didn't get the perfect RNG there. It's fine. So Confusion hampers the ability of getting key recovery on enemies, or on anything affected by it. And I'm getting unlucky once again. No one is surprised. And also makes them take more damage. So as you can see right here, he gets confused again because he broke the pillar, proccing water to him, and he's already proc with Confusion, so I mean with Purity, so he got Confusion. So that was messy. There's a faster fight that could have happened, but it didn't happen because RNG. It's fine. We're gonna continue. So the Nendra Soul Core is not really useful, but we're gonna get it anyways because of the proficiency on the Shifling skill tree. The Shifling skill tree is gonna be important for passive abilities, mainly key recovery and anima related passives again. We're onwards to the last main mission of this first region. And you're gonna see the first fight that's gonna use a Yokai Shift setup. Okay, getting rid of 3 menu pop-ups. And I'm gonna get one item before that happens. For the DLCs, okay, which is this thing right here, Travel Amulet. We're gonna use 2 small Spirit Stones to set up the Yokai Shift. And get the Safety Shrine for safety. Okay. So this upcoming fight is one of the most, I guess, if I had to describe it in the perspective of someone who's first playing this game, I guess it would be the first wall for many players. It is very hard to fight the first time around. And that comes around to mainly 2 things. One is the poison that there's around the boss area, and the other one is the fact that this boss has some ads that he can spawn on that ground phase. So we're gonna roll that. Okay, that's... Man, I'm getting so unlucky. It's fine, it's fine. We're gonna use Enki right now. Okay, I didn't get a good hit, but it's fine. Heaven and Earth. There we go, Mizuki. Okay. So, again, I'm getting very unlucky. I cannot do the setup because of that. But it's fine. We'll manage. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Now let's do this. Grapple. Yokai shift. I think he's too close to the wall. No, it's fine. Good. Okay, pulse. Ah, come on. It's okay. Mizuki. And now he's dead. So sadly, because of the weird angle on the grapple, I just couldn't get a better one. I wasn't able to get confusion on him. But you know, I was able to finish the fight anyways. I keep not getting access. That's not good. I'm actually gonna buy one just for consistency's sake, because otherwise we're gonna be behind in damage. But yeah, what happened there is that I grappled and then I summoned, well, I activated Yokai Shift immediately. And in the case of Yatsuno Kami, what happens when you do that is that he gets stunned again, or rather like he gets on a downed state again. So yeah, you can grapple again. And it gives you enough time to do something before grappling. So the ideal thing to do is to proc confusion on the snake. So that's what I did, but you know, because of the angle I wasn't able to get the full fire attack there. So okay, we're gonna do the blacksmith. Normally you would not see this menu, but you know, me being unlucky, because why not? It's not completely necessary, but at this point it's better. It's better for the damage. Okay, so we're gonna get the swordman locks, sword key. Okay, sword key. There we go. So we're doing this dojo. This is gonna be the only dojo that we're gonna do. It's nothing too special to mention. 3 hits on the first guy because we were attacking from the back. 4 hits on the other one. So this dojo is necessary for many skills that we're gonna use, of which are included like Rumbling Earth, Heaven and Earth. No, not Heaven and Earth. Rumbling Earth, Titanic Strength, and Mad Spinner 2. And also Flux 2, for example. Flash Attack. It's gonna be useful on the DLCs especially. And Masterful Slice. It's gonna be useful from the mid part of the main game onwards. So yeah, we backflip there in order to impress Mataza. Or Maeda Toshie, and he lets us through because he's so impressed. And while we waited for that, we just got Lantern Plant Fruit. Lantern Plant Fruits and Red Spire Lilies are gonna be 2 very important resources for getting Anima. We're gonna have abundancy on them on the main game. But on the DLC, they're not going to be as abundant. But we have more than enough. It's just that there's not a lot of excess. Okay, so in this shrine, we're going to do the first level up. We're going to have 10 Constitution, 6 Magic, and the rest on skill. And we're going to get Flux 2. And Water Talisman. Water Talisman is going to be the other main buff, but we're mainly only going to use it against human bosses and on rare occasions if things don't go as planned. We got another Travel Amulet. It's going to be useful later. And Red Spire Lily right here. For the Anima again. Buff with water, and we prepare the ranged weapon with the matchlock, and just in case the bow as well, since it's fast. Okay, so right at the start of this fight, we're gonna just shoot Imagawa in the head, right there. Hit him once, final blow, and then heaven and earth. We're gonna flux 2 and do it again. And now on that burst attack, we're gonna burst counter and get a grapple out of it because he got rid of all his king. So that's a good Imagawa fight actually. It's not over, but pretty much. Okay, there we go. Good fight, good fight. Oh yeah. There's a weird property that go forward area. Like after you beat the mission, there's a go forward that pops, and depending on what you did, well, and depending on the boss and what you did to the boss at the end, it can spawn on different places. Usually the rule is that it's either on the same spot always, like with Mizuki or Enenra, or Yatsuno Kami as well, actually. And for other bosses, like the ones on this region and many others, their rule is that it will spawn where the boss is, or where it last was able to do something. More or less. It's not exactly that, but that's the easiest way to explain that. Alright. So we're gonna fight one enemy that we don't really need to fight, but it's gonna set up things quite properly. So yeah, now we're gonna grapple, and while we grapple, we use a Lantern Plant Fruit right there. There we go. So we have good amount of there we go. Good amount of anima, yes, anima meter. And we also get some more proficiency for the axe. Okay, now we're gonna do some more menuing. We're gonna get the Masterful Slice, and we're gonna get the Dark Within 2. Masterful Slice, we will equip it later on Rumbling Earth, and even later on another skill called Sword Key for the sword, but it's only gonna be used quite later. Sword Key is gonna be used on the DLCs, and it basically allows us to deal more key damage with the skill that has that equipped. We're gonna get this Fleeting Guardian Amulet. It's gonna be very important for the first boss of the next region. We're gonna get this Red Spire Lily, and we're gonna close this, which is effectively a shortcut. So if we die, we spawn there. It should not happen though. We're gonna buff with Purity, and this upcoming boss is quite agile and fast. So we're gonna dodge that. There we go. Miss stance attacks. There we go. That's a good time to do that as well. And now he's almost with no key. So we're gonna do this. Yatsuno Kami. That's the first instance of Yatsuno Kami in the run. We're gonna see more. Grapple. Buff. We're gonna do Heaven and Earth right here to do as much Purity debuff and... Okay, there we go. That's a bit sketchy, but we got it. And grapple. So yeah. Heaven and Earth is really good for damage, key damage, and elemental appliance. Alright. So, pretty decent fight. Not perfect, but pretty alright. There's a lot of tech that I'm probably not gonna mention, but there's a lot of things to mention in this run. Okay, we're onwards to the last mission of this region, before the third region, and we're gonna we're gonna actually use Yokai Shift in this fight as well. It is the main reason why I was picking up so many, well, not so many, but you know, all those items, all those small spirit stones, all those spirit stones. You'll see why in a moment. Another small spirit stone and some sandals as well. It's a nice extra thing that we can get. And we're actually coming up to a menu because there's an elevator. So there's a lot of downtime. Well, not a lot, but yeah, enough to do menu. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna call the elevator. Get this shifting point. Get Peter Heaven. And get this. Now we're gonna use 5 of this small spirit stones and ready the shortcut for the Fleeting Guardian Amulet. We're gonna use 2 of this. Set the shortcut for the Travel Amulet, the Red Spire Lily, and the Lantern Plant Fruit. And the next set of shortcuts is just gonna be on the DLC. There's not a lot of different things that we need to do on the any percent part in order to prepare for the DLCs. I would say that probably it just adds around 10 seconds. Maybe more, but it's like very minimal addition of time. So it's almost the same, the any percent part. So that was a safety shrine, because this next boss can actually, yeah, it can be quite annoying. If I do die here, I'll have to do all strats, but that should not happen. Alright. So yeah, Dark Realm again. So we're gonna watch out for our key, just in case. There we go, we skipped that yokai spawning. Normally you would get hit by that, but yeah. Okay, so we're gonna buff with Purity, in the case of this boss, and do high stance stun attacks, and watch what the boss does before doing another one. Okay, we can do another one. Yokai Shift, we grapple immediately. 1, 2, brute counter. 1, 2. Okay, I didn't need to brute counter there. It's okay. Okay. Okay, this is bad. But thankfully, I'm able to do some stuff here in order to make the fight not as bad as it could be. So, Phantom is the most dangerous of all the forms of Saito. So I had to do that. It can be either Feral or Phantom with our setup. I messed up a little bit. That that brute counter messed up the setup. The thing is, like, it's RNG. It's RNG when the boss decides to block, and if the boss decides to block, then he's gonna get more key damage. So that's good, but at the same time, if you're queuing another attack because you don't expect that, then you're just gonna move the boss away from the grappleable state. And we want the grapple. Okay. I'm gonna say that I'm still a bit rusty, because I took a break a few weeks ago. So I'm not as good of a shape as I should be right now. Okay, we're gonna use the red spire lily. And there we go, dodge that. That enemy is very dangerous. If you don't have a high enough key and you don't manage to dodge the attack, then it's basically death. It will just combo you to death. Okay, so we can do some more menu over here. You know, we can equip some light armor, some accessories. I'm actually gonna do this. I've yet to get another axe in the whole run. This axe is the one that I bought. That's very bad RNG. It's fine for now, but yeah. I would like to get another one now, if possible. If I don't get another one, it's okay. Like I can deal with it. We're gonna get a guaranteed hammer in the last mission of this region. Speaking about hammers, hammers are, for the most part, not really what you want, but on some fights it's more convenient. So for example, I got, if I remember correctly, I got some hammers at the start, but we are not interested in those hammers at that point. They deal less damage, really. Okay, so we're gonna get 10 heart, 10 courage, rest on skill and strength. Just setting up some stats to get the most benefits from them. I'm gonna get some Spiriting Gem. Spiriting Gem basically gives us more Amrita meter gradually until 80, and that's gonna be an important setup for this next boss. Alright, so on this boss we're just gonna wait for him to appear. We're gonna use this item that will proc him with fire, then dodge right next to that pot, and then do that somehow. Okay, so I messed up. If you didn't know, now you know. I messed up. I was not supposed to do it like that, but it's fine. Okay, we're gonna get this Tatari Monkey Soul Core, and we're gonna get these items as well, just for the sake of consistency and the rest of the run. So yeah, I didn't get another axe, sadly. It is not unlikely to get an axe or a hammer in this fight, but I didn't get it. So we also equipped another spirit, and in the case of the run, we'll equip the Masaru Garden Spirit, which is a feral garden spirit. And yeah, in this the start of this area, we're gonna get a Scampus. I didn't talk about the Scampus. Scampus basically add to the anima gradually, so it's very useful. And they also attack enemies around them. So it's a very good support. While we get this Scampus, we're gonna get this right here. It's gonna allow us to keep pulse on those stance dodge. It's gonna be pretty useful in some fights. And the main reason why I changed to Masaru was so I could actually go through this place a bit more safely. Sometimes they like doing a burst attack, and if I have the brute counter, then it's harder to go through. So yeah, got some more sprinting gems, some more items. I will not talk much more about those items because they pretty much all do one of two things: regen anima, or give me Amrita meter. Or even less Amrita. And over here we're gonna dash past one enemy. There's a 99% chance of me not dying here. There we go. We're gonna get this shrine. Okay. So this item is also really important. It's more Amrita. And before we get to the boss, we're actually gonna use Spiriting Gem to set up the Amrita meter. Because we're gonna be using Yokai Shift. It's gonna be very, very important for this boss fight. We're gonna be behind in damage, but it should be fine. Right, so we dodge the first attack, then do Heaven and Earth, Flux 2 to recover more ki, and we can save this attack a little bit. There we go. Yokai Shift, grapple, brute counter, parry, 1, 2, kipples, parry. Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, okay, this is terrible actually. Man. Okay, backup strats. That's so bad. We're gonna switch to Feral. It's gonna be safer. Man. Well, that's bad. This boss is really easy, but I didn't time my parry properly. I could have gotten away there, but it's okay. Then I just proceed normally. Heaven and Earth. There we go. Do some more attacks right there. It's all strats now. No buff. Yeah, that's most likely what he was gonna do. More Yatsunokami. One, two. Get away. Can do more Heaven and Earth. Get away. More Yatsunokami. So yeah, this fight is much slower than it could be. Sadly. Oh. That's Magara no Taka. Done very poorly. Alright. Next up is gonna be Azai Nagamasa. And in this fight we're actually gonna have a hammer, because there's a guaranteed drop in the mission. It's not what I would normally do, but at this point, since we're so low on damage, we're gonna do that. Man, I'm failing like all the strats. Setting up the menu a little bit. Okay, over here we're gonna learn Titanic Strength and Ramming Earth. If in some case of you know, in some runs I'm not able to get Titanic Strength, then I'll just get Ramming Earth. But you know, we have enough for all of them. And now we're gonna set up Ramming Earth here with Masterful Slice. I'm gonna take this as safety shrine. And over here we have consistent hammer drop. It's always gonna be a warrior's monk, warrior's monk hammer there. Or you know, warrior monk's hammer rather. And the main thing about this boss is that it flies and blocks a lot. Okay, that was a weird start for the fight, but I'll take it. Okay, there we go. So this is Titanic Strength right there. Once again. We're gonna counter that. And wait for an opportunity to actually do something, but of course I get extremely unlucky and I die. Oh man. So we'll try again. Oh, I dodged too early. Okay, handstand strong attack. And we can do some Titanic Strength and some more handstand strong attack. There we go. Now we're gonna set this up so we're not facing many arrows. You know, many. Those are actually feathers, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna buff now, and right after buffing we're gonna do Ramming Earth, followed by a Titanic Strength. There we go. We're gonna grapple, we're gonna heal, and do another Ramming Earth. We're gonna do Heaven on Earth. And Ramming Earth, there we go. GG. That's Azai Nagamasa. We're gonna be updating our sword because while the main use of the sword is movement, it does have some usage besides that. So we're gonna attack a little bit with that in some parts, especially in the DLCs. So yeah, Rumbling Earth is the most key damaging attack that we have. So it's very important for some setups. Now we're onwards to the 4th region. And we are actually entering the first mission with 2 bosses in the run. One is Saika Magoichi and the other one is Yuki. But the thing that I'm most worried about is neither of them. Well, Saika is a bit concerning, but we'll get to that later. There's one door that we need to go through that has an enemy, or several enemies right next to it, but one in particular, of which we're gonna focus our attention on. Okay, cool shot. I'm gonna heal. So yeah, I'm setting up my Amrita for the Saika Magoichi fight. Okay, good RNG. So that girl over there is the dangerous enemy of this area. If she decides to not take out the cannon and shoot a bomb or something, then I have to do something a bit different in order to bait a cannon shot. Because otherwise we get a cannon on our back while opening the door. Alright. Okay, so this is one of the most infamous enemies. Like that one that was screaming. It's always screaming. And it's very annoying. So shoutouts to the Ubume. That's the name of the enemy. Alright. Okay. So we don't need to worry about the shots there for the most part. And now we're gonna level up again, and after we get to 10 strength, all we want is stamina from now on, because that's the main stat that the axe and hammer damage scales off. And we're gonna change to Shirohami. We're gonna equip Yatsunokami and Enki. Enki doesn't have a lot of usage anymore, but it will have an important usage in the last mission of this region. Not necessarily, but most likely. Shirohami has a property of making the Yatsunokami Soul Core proc confusion. No, not confusion, sorry. Poison. And the Yatsunokami Soul Core has a special effect that buffs the damage that you do on a poisoned enemy. So it's a really good... oh, come on, that's so unlucky. This is me doing Nioh 2 runs in a nutshell. Getting unlucky over and over again. Okay, there we go. So our main objective is to try to keep... Okay, wow. This is unbelievable. Okay, we don't have the water debuff, but it's okay. We're just gonna go roll with it. Grapple again. 1, 2. Yatsunokami. 1, 2. Root counter. Like, I'm getting extremely bad fights. It's actually insane. Okay, so yeah, we talk to him, and we get out of this place quickly by using a travel amulet. And now next up is Gyuki. It's not a very hard fight if you know what you're doing, but you don't really need to know a lot from this boss, honestly. Biggest advice that I could give to anyone who maybe is struggling to this boss is do not lock on to him unless you really need to for a grapple or something like that, and go to the side or the back. Okay, heaven and earth. Good old heaven and earth. We can do some attack strength and some high stance strong attacks. Now we can do another heaven and earth. And then we can use Yatsu no Kami. There we go, that's the good damage. And we're gonna do another heaven and earth. And then we're gonna grapple. I'm gonna pop the Yatsu no Kami again. Okay, I'm not in a good position. There we go. I'm gonna actually summon Yatsu no Kami right there. GG. We're gonna switch to the Brute because that's a bit faster. We're gonna get this and this, which I don't always have the option to get the second one, but you know, now I got it. Now we're gonna get life plus 50, that and this, and also this. Yo, welcome, Pride Claw. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we're gonna switch to Masaru. We don't want to get the Yokai, the soul core of Gyuki because it's very slow. Nice, we got a hammer. We got an axe. Sorry. Hammers, like I said before, have some usages. They're gonna be useful, especially in the next region, on the first, on the first mission of the next region. But coming up, there's a boss of which I'm not even gonna bother taking a safety shrine, because it is, with the current strats, is the easiest boss in the entire run, pretty much. All you need to do is getting rid of the key one time, and then she's just dead. So we're in an area that, for those who have played Nioh 1, are also gonna be familiar with, which is the Honnoji Temple, but instead of everything being on ice or snow, everything is on fire. But this is fine. Okay, so we're gonna get this water. Go through this fire and pet this cat. Okay, when we pet that, we can get some items, I mean some equipment ready. Fun fact, if you pet the cat and make it follow you, or if you have a cat around rather, the blue fire will not do anything to you. But the red fire still will. So I use water barrels, I use the water barrels to guard myself against the dangers of the red or orange fire, and the cat for the blue fire. Okay, so you can see, go through the blue fire, nothing. Alright. So I'm gonna prepare a bit more my armor real quick. Just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna bait and attack them. Okay. That was weird. Okay, we can go. That was very weird. I don't know what's going on this run. I'm just getting all the weird RNG. Anyways, we enter the boss fight, change to the axe, and we just straight up buff with the purity. And heaven and earth. Very simple, very effective. Another one. And now we use Yatsu no Kami. And we use more Heaven and Earth, pop Yokai Shift. And then Brute counter. 1, 2, 3. Hit pulse, grapple. And then Yatsu no Kami. And she's dead. GG. So that's why it's not even worth getting a safety shrine for this. If you missed it, there's gonna be another fight with Kasha near the end of the 80% section. Okay, we're going to the last mission of this region. And we're gonna start using the sword to attack, actually, on this mission. For the most part, up until the DLCs, especially, as the run progresses, the Yokai shift strats are gonna be a bit more common, more or less. Not always, but you know, you're gonna see Yokai shift several times, especially with Brute. Okay, so we're gonna use a couple of Spirit Stones here. Masaru has a buff. A special effect that gives us a buff when absorbing Amrita, so that basically makes us deal more damage in that situation. I'm gonna use 2 more Spirit Stones. Safety Shrine. Yeah, very dangerous Odachi, guys. Alright, so over here I'm gonna take this shortcut, just for safety. And while I do that, I'll just upgrade my armor a little bit. More items. More resources. And this upcoming fight is very RNG heavy. But as long as I'm careful enough, it should be fine. Okay. So it's a Dreaming Sukuna. It has fire and water attacks. Well, it's mostly ice, I guess, but it's basically water. So as you can see, that follow-up is something that it's a bit dangerous. Oh, okay. There we go. Yatsu no Kami. I messed up a little bit, but it's okay. I recovered. So it's poisoned and all that stuff. We just parry that. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's what I was talking about mainly when I was talking about the RNG. Those shots are very, very annoying. So yeah, there's no big issue with regards of the fire guy, but the water guy with the arrow shots is very dangerous. So you need to be careful with that, sadly. Anyways, we got an Evil Crusher Hammer, which is perfect actually for this next mission. We're not gonna use it straight away, but in this next mission there's 2 bosses. We get a Ryomen Sukuna axe from doing this mission. So that's gonna be the axe that we're gonna use for the first fight. So we got the Nekomata, that's gonna be very important. It's gonna be the substitute for Masaru. Because Masaru does give us a damage buff when absorbing an Rita, but it's quite minor. So there's more benefit from the Nekomata one. So I'm gonna skip this shrine. Because this next fight is one that I shouldn't be having troubles with. And even if I die, there's not a lot of running through if I get the shortcut. I would have gotten it anyways, but it's better to not get it if you're doing the menu to get the axe. But yeah, this next boss fight is Maeda Toshie, also known as Mataza. You might remember him from the first mission of the second region. Yeah, we're gonna kind of destroy him a little bit. Okay, towards the first attack, and just start doing Titanic Strength. No, yeah, Titanic Strength, yes. Okay, there we go. After that, we're doing Heaven and Earth. More Titanic Strength. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna switch to the axe again, so we get rid of the debuff, you know, of the water buff rather, and we can apply confusion. And now he's dead. He's basically dead. GG. So you could probably see why I wasn't too worried about this fight. Titanic Strength is an unparryable attack. And Maeda Toshie likes to parry you, or to try to parry you rather. So we cannot take profit of that. Yes. Nekomata, Yatsunokami, and Kasha. There we go. Perfect. There's a small skip that you can do here, but it's not really worthwhile, because I can, instead of doing that, I can open this, take like 1 extra second or less, and meanwhile menu, so yeah. So the hammer is more useful here, so that's why I switched to the hammer, run about with Purity. And there's a loop that you can do in this boss. Let me show it to you. Okay, so I got a pretty bad start of the fight. It's fine. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Tsurokami. Gonna do a couple more attacks. I'm actually gonna rebuff with Purity, just in case. Heaven and Earth. Titanic Strength. And now the loop starts. Tsunokami, more Heaven and Earth. Grapple. Get away from him a little bit. Change to water for extra damage. Heaven and Earth. He has no key, so we can do this again. Grapple. And with the extra key damage of the hammer, I don't really need Purity again. I can just do it with water. So he's dead. GG. Nice and easy. Sadly we got a slow start of the fight, but it's fine. I'm gonna change back to Rim Sukuna for the extra damage. That actually, I guess, talking about the main strat of the fight, this mission, you know, besides the first region, this mission is probably the one that has changed the least. It has had some change, but not much. Like, the idea is basically the same on both fights. So it's kind of funny that quite early strat survives so long as a very effective strat in the run. Speaking of which, the old strat on this upcoming fight is also very effective, but if we are not very short on Amrita, we're gonna actually use a different one. You're probably guessing what. Okay, how are we? We're good, we're good. So we're gonna use the newer strat. It's not gonna be anything like super Nioh or anything. Okay, just making sure. So sadly, I used up my my ammunition from for the rifle on that unlucky fight. So I'm gonna use the bow. It's gonna deal less damage, but it's gonna do the same thing. Switch to the brute. Shirohami. And we're gonna get this shrine. We're not gonna level up, not just yet. Basically, the main idea is somewhere in between Imagawa and Mataza, or Maeda Toshio. So we're gonna start shooting him in the head. Just like that. Hit him in once, final blow. Heaven and Earth. Watch him, if he gets away, do that. And then start doing Titanic Shrine. There we go. As you can see, a big chunk of damage right there. As you can see, that was a bit abusive, right? Had no chance at one point. I don't know if you noticed, but with a strong attack, I was able to actually make him airborne, and I dropped the Jatsu no Kami Soul Core while he was in the air. Alright, so we got some pretty good rewards from that as well, like pretty good light armor. We're gonna get more good light armor in this upcoming fight. And in this mission there's two bosses, of which the second one I'm not really worried about. It can be slower or faster, but it's not very deadly at all if you know what you're doing and you're careful. This first one though is much more concerning in that regard. So we're gonna use that Red Spire Lily, not for the boss, but for this upcoming crystal. This crystal is very, very dangerous. We cannot really get close to him, to it, without really suffering from enemy attacks all over the place. So yeah, we use the Kasha in order to protect ourselves from that. And right now we're gonna fight the Kappa Man, what I like to call, which is Hachisuka Koroku. Gonna try to use Kasha as much as possible. There we go, that's perfect, that's perfect. Grapple with the confusion, and now we're gonna do Mat Spinner. And Kasha. That's actually a perfect fight, that was really good. That was really good. Alright, we're gonna continue. I'm gonna take this safety shrine. That was actually a very good fight. Okay. Search this. We're not really interested in the item. I didn't mention it, but Kasha has several really good properties. Like, Kasha is so good. Oh, come on. Kasha is such a good soul core, both with the active attack of it and the special effects that it has. It has two really good special effects. One of them is the fact that we get a speed buff from absorbing Amrita. So that's why I got but didn't really get any item. After the fight with Hachisuka Koroku. And apart from that, while we are damaging anything really with a Soul Core, we also get HP back. We get health back, so it's very good. Okay, so there is this Daidarabochi. The main strat here is to mat spinner to. Okay, we're in a mat situation here. Okay, good. And to use Kasha. That's the main strat. Yes. Okay, we're gonna switch to the Brute, so we can do that, and switch back to the Feral. There we go. That's good. So now we're gonna go to the other side, because this is the side that we're gonna be able to grapple. I'm gonna attack this arm right now. Mat Spinner to, again, Kasha, and more Mat Spinner to more Kasha. So I'm not really worried about the damage, because I keep getting healed as well. But yeah, if I have some downtime, I can just top the HP. And that's it. We skipped the final phase. With the feathers, just like as a curiosity, with the feathers you can actually just skip the whole fight. Sorry, that was bad. You can skip the whole like second phase and everything. So we're gonna get some stuff that it's gonna be useful for the DLC on the magic, which is the Barrier Talisman and the Lightning Stop Talisman. More the first one than the second one. Let's see, did I get anything good? No, I didn't. Okay, I got some good swords, but not a good axe. On a lucky run, not super lucky, but just like lucky enough. You can get a Kintaro axe, and that's like the strongest axe that you can get here. And that makes the next part easier and faster. Yeah, we're gonna head to Byodo Inn. This, by the way, is the mother of our character. Just saying. And we're onwards to the longest region of the game, which is the 6th region, Dream. And in this next mission, actually, we're gonna do what's the biggest skip that you can do in the run. If you like, yes, the biggest actual skip that you can do in the run. There's a like we took a shortcut on the Yatsuno Kami mission, but you know it's intended, so it's not really a skip. Okay, so we're gonna use Splitting Gem to set up our Amrita meter, because it's gonna be important for the skip. And now we're gonna fight this crystal. Mat Spinner 2 for the win. Oh, okay. That was unfortunate. Didn't do it super well, but you know, I just got unlucky as usual. But yeah, normally at the end of the Mat Spinner 2 with this axe, you can actually break the crystal. But yeah. Anyways, we're gonna use 2 small spirit stones. There we go. So we have the Yokai Shift ready. I'm gonna do some menu over here. There we go. So this skip saves like around 20 to 25 seconds, something like that, I think. I get here, And dash. There we go. Or you can use Kasha right here, and that should break the crystal just like that. That's the whole skip. So we got another key item for this. And now we can start updating our armor a little bit. We're gonna level up more stamina for the extra damage. It also lets us equip more heavier armor. So yeah, we're gonna bait this enemy and that bomb, which is also from an enemy, of course. And we're gonna do some more Mad Spinner too, but this time it will be a bit easier because of the extra damage as well. There we go. Okay, we're gonna update the accessories. There we go. So we're good on that. I'm gonna heal here just in case, but it's like just to top it off. I'm gonna get full Yokai Shift meter, or Amrita meter rather. And buff. Okay, so this boss fight is casually not very complicated, but it actually is a bit. It can be a bit convoluted in the speedrun. Okay, I'm gonna do a specific setup over here. Oh, come on. Okay, now we're gonna use Yamen Sukuna. Okay. That was to extend that first part of the fight a little bit. Then Jatsu no Kami. Then Yokai Shift. Get away a little bit. And now we can do Confusion again. Get away from that, because we got unlucky, of course, with it. There we go. Very important to parry. We can do some more Yamen Sukuna. And we're gonna get away. So yeah, very unlucky, actually. Okay. So we need to wait here because this phase is very dangerous. Has a lot of long swipes. So after this we're gonna go ham. Heaven on Earth. Natsu no Kami. And he's dead. There we go. We always get as a drop the Shuten Dojo Clap on him. So it's a very nice consistent drop. Just like that. I got a Kintaro axe actually from that fight as well. That's funny. That's the axe that I wanted to have at that point. So this next mission is probably the longest mission in the entire game. Or the longest main mission rather. Which is the Golden Castle. We're gonna fight some bosses that we already fought before. But they are stronger and we're way stronger. So it's gonna be quite the destruction if I do things properly. And I don't get very unlucky. Alright, so I'm gonna use another red spell lily. I'm gonna use 3 spirit stones. And we're gonna enter the boss fight. This is an entrance you can see on the wall, or on the door rather. Buff with purity at the start. And see what he does. That's perfect. Heaven and Earth. Some strong attacks, why not? Jatsu no Kami. Okay, that's bad. Okay, that's good. Alright. Ramen Sukuna. 1, 2, 3. Root counter. Jatsu no Kami. And then grapple. Okay. That's interesting. He didn't die to that. It's fine. Okay, so we're gonna switch to the Nekomata. And we're gonna update our axe to something of a higher level. Okay, so match spinner 2 with this. And we can finish it off with this. We're gonna update our accessories a little bit as well. Get the safety shrine. And next up is gonna be the Jatsu no Kami fight. And the good thing is that we're lucky enough that the 2 next boss fights that we're gonna fight are gonna give us the soul cores, and both of them are extremely useful soul cores. Jatsu no Kami and Kasha. So it's extremely ideal. So yeah, confusion, all that good stuff. There's some more Heaven and Earth, some more Kasha. Okay, I got knocked down, but it's fine. There we go. Jatsu no Kami Soul Core. Okay, I'm gonna actually get this. Some more passives to help them run. And we're gonna actually update our Jatsu no Kami Soul Core. Just for this next fight. And the following ones, of course. Okay. Buff with purity, and we're gonna fight Kasha. Okay. Jatsu no Kami. Full Heaven and Earth. Yoga Shift. Road counter. And she's dead. GG. Gonna heal a little bit. Wait for that to go away. And you can use Jatsu no Kami there. There we go. Okay, so we're almost to this. Well, we're in this final boss fight of this mission. Lady Osakabe. There we go. So I use Rumbling Earth, and then I did a flash attack to the sword. I'm actually gonna change my axe. Oh, whatever. So getting some proficiency with the sword in there. I gotta update it. It's quite outdated. Okay. Some more mat spinner too. Oh. What's that? Armor North. And flash attack. That's the fastest way to get rid of it with this setup. Okay, we're gonna do this. Tsunokami. And I'm gonna update my sword because I didn't do that before. And get this as well. Okay. So it's a bit that. That's good. That's good. As you can see, like it's not very hard, but it's a bit chaotic this fight. Okay, that was unfortunate. I didn't see it in time. Wow. What a surprise, me getting more unlucky. It's okay. Oh, come on. Can we finish this now? I swear. It's unbelievable. Okay, we're gonna switch to the brute to speed up this animation. And while this is happening, I'm gonna get sword key and relentless one. And get Masterful Slide Rider. And change to the Masaru. Alright. Got some good armor. Gonna get this for the proficiency. Shifting proficiency. Okay. Alright. There's the last mission of this region. And then after that we'll do the final region of the 80%. We are... You know, this run is not very fast, you know. Got quite unlucky on some parts, I did some mistakes, but... You know. It's not... absolutely awful, I guess. Okay, so we get this key item, the Sambo Inky. Now there's a glitch that can happen here. If for some reason I die here. Okay, don't lock onto that, come on. After breaking that, then the scampos that are very much necessary for these strats wouldn't spawn. So if that were to happen, some rare occasion, which shouldn't, I would have to like go out of the mission. That'll be like the fastest way of dealing with that. Because otherwise it's very bad. Okay, so yeah, some more red spell lilies. And yeah, as you might have guessed, we're gonna use the Scampus in this mission. It's actually the mission where they are the most, you know, important, I would say. Okay, we're gonna do the last Shifling skill point here. We're gonna get the Dragon's Echo 3. It's gonna be quite useful. And over here we're gonna have to break one stone that is too dangerous to break without Yokai Shift, so we're gonna use Yokai Shift and cancel it right after clearing it. Nice, right clone. Okay, so we're gonna level up. All in stamina, as you know. And we're gonna get this cat. You can get up to 3 cats. That's gonna be relevant later as well. And use the Lumisac Crystal to top off my Yokai Shift. Oh yeah, my Amrita meter. Okay, we're gonna buff with water. And we're gonna have to deal with this guy. We're gonna fight Tokichiro again, but this time he is much stronger. And more evil as well. Okay, that's not ideal, but it's fine. Okay, we're gonna use Kasha. There we go. The confusion. Use Kasha again. Counter that. And finish the fight. There we go. We're gonna buff with Purity. And we're gonna use the Clay Bell of Reckoning to refresh this campus and also get another cat friend. Which is gonna make this fight much faster and easier than it would normally be. Come on. So, some attacks are attacks that I really don't want to see. Also, that was a mistake on my end. That's actually a mistake. I messed it up. This is so bad. Yeah, I messed it up big time. Should be fine though. Yatsunokami. As I said earlier, or I think I said earlier, I am rusty with this fight. So, well, this run rather. I'm still like getting back to it. Because I have less time than usual. But yeah, still the cat army, as that David is saying, pulls through. Okay, so there's only 2 missions left. One boss fight and a short mission that ends with a boss fight. Well, technically there's 3 because this is also a mission, but it's a... you know, it's a cutscene mission. It's only cutscenes in this one. So yeah, this would be like a good time to read shit. What? Read stuff. Sorry. Oh man. That was. Anyways, we're gonna have to fight William from Nioh 1 because we got a time skip now, an anime time skip. I use 2 Limisa crystals, switch to the axe, pop Jokai ship. Okay, William, very cool. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Strong attack. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to fight this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this fight again, probably. Sadly. Oh, never mind. Man, like so many strats are like just not working. Or not. So many fights are just not going well, I should say. Well, we're gonna do the last main mission of the 90%. Alright, so right at the start we're gonna actually use some Amrita.
Let's go.
And normally I would just use a Red Spire Lily, but I'm actually gonna take this Scampus over here, just so I don't have to use up any of my resources. It's just a bit slower. And yeah, I'm also gonna make sure to change to Shirohami. Oh. I almost used it. I'm used to using it there. Alright. Level up. Alright, so we're gonna fight Otakemaru, which is the last boss of the 90%. We're gonna buff with Purity right at the start. Dodge. This attack string. Punish a little bit. There we go. Yatsunokami. We can do a Heaven and Earth. We can grapple. Buff with Purity again to set up this. Grab and Earth. There we go, we can do a Heaven and Earth here. Nice and strong attack. Heaven and Earth. There we go. Parry that. Parry that again. Yeah, dodge that. Change to Masaru just in case. So I got a pretty lucky start, but well, not lucky start, a pretty decent start. But then the second part was not very lucky. Anyways, I'm gonna change armor so you get more defense and all that stuff. And we're gonna set up the menu a little bit. So yeah, in the any percent, I would just not pick up anything here and just go forward. Or try to pick up as least things as possible. And that's where the any percent would end, on that black screen. So, you know, for a pretty bad run, you know, sub 140. It's okay, I guess. Yo, John Scopes, thank you. And now we're going to the DLCs, so we can see more shenanigans. Okay. So yeah, we get the NG Plus unlocked, as you can see here. We're gonna change back to the Dream of the Samurai, which is the NG. The reason why I use Yatsu no Kami, it's mostly for the key damage and damage, but the poison is a really good stuff that you get profit from. You actually stop getting profit from the poison in the DLCs, or right before the DLCs actually. But there's no big reason to change to any other Guardian Spirit. And you know, Yatsu no Kami is very, very strong anyways. Okay, so we're gonna use Red Spire Lily, because we want that that UC anima. And the first boss that we're gonna fight in the DLC is called the Mysterious Monk or something like that, I think. But I always call him Benkei because that's the name of the character. You know, if you're familiar with the character, you recognize it at first sight. Even if you have never played this game before, or never seen this game before. Alright. So here's a giant enemy crab, you know, from the Genji series. They decided to pour that here. I think it's a neat decision, honestly. Alright, so this is a Thief Shrine. You know, I don't really do anything here besides getting it. Okay, so we off with Purity. And we enter the first fight. Yeah, Benkei is prominent in many stories, in Japanese media, especially. I'm gonna counter that. Okay, he's getting a bit weird. Like the timings on those burst attacks are very, very sketchy. Anyways, we're gonna try to keep him in this for as long as possible and proc confusion once again, and he's dead. GG. So there's one thing that I didn't explain about confusion, and that is that if you proc, I think it's both Purity and Corruption, but at least with Corruption I'm sure. If you proc Corruption before the Confusion runs out, it actually refreshes the Confusion debuff. So I was able to do that right before it ran out, and I was able to deal even more damage. So that was a good Bingham fight. Oh, the start of the fight was actually pretty bad. I got really unlucky, as usual. But yeah. Next up is the Umi Judo fight, which is, in my opinion, probably the easiest fight in the whole DLCs. But that doesn't mean that I cannot get unlucky and somehow it gets sketchy. But yeah, in theory it is the easiest. Okay, just making sure. You can, there's one thing that you can do with the corruption weapons, you know, the weapons that have the sentience bar going on. And that is that if it's above 50% meter, you can unequip and equip it again, and it will go back to 50%. It doesn't go back to 50% if it's below it, though. So yeah, I cannot do that regularly in the DLC section of the run. Alright. So we're gonna start up with simple, you know, heaven and earth. I'm gonna start doing some more mat spinner and some kashas. Nothing like super weird. I'm gonna start with more kasha. Lock onto him. There we go. More mat spinner. We're gonna save the kasha right now and use it here. Lock on, pop Joker Shift, and start doing charge attacks. One after the other. 3, 4, 5. Burst counter. And then you can start doing the kasha as well if you want. So sadly the crabs are getting very annoying here. So I need to do this. And use kasha here. Okay. So the Umi Judo is basically that here. So as I said, I can get unlucky and the fight becomes sketchy. But it's not a hard fight. It's mainly the crabs, the big issue. There we go. So that's the first mission of the DLCs. Also hi, Spink. I don't know if I say it's hi or not. Alright, we're gonna head east. It's a particular thing that this region has. It's split in two parts. They wanted to cover Minamoto no Yoshitsune's... Sorry. Minamoto no Yoshitsune's main events. And they happen on very different parts of Japan, so that's why that is a thing. So it's like kind of two regions in one, but it's counted as one region. Okay, so on this mission we have the luck that we don't really need to use any items to set up what we need, like our anima or an Amrita meter are gonna be full because of those crystals that those stones that I was breaking while I was dashing around. So that's very nice. So as you can see, there's new enemies and all that stuff. Lots of traps. Still. Gonna heal just in case. There's a section that it's a bit concerning, so for that one I'll take a safety shrine, just in case. Thankfully the shrines don't take too long to get, it's just like about 5 seconds, something like that. Shoutouts to the low textures and Buddha. So we're gonna get this shrine right here. And then we have Yoshitsune right there beside us, teleported conveniently. Okay, so now we're gonna go up a tree, and in this tree there's enemies, and they're annoying. So yeah, we got that Lumisac fragment, it's pretty neat. Gonna get another one. These are basically backup items that we don't really need, but just in case, and they are handy. And they also buff our speed because of the Kasha Soul Core. Okay. This boss fight is one of the hardest ones. But it's quite manageable if you know the fight properly. It's quite manageable. It's not as concerning as others, I would say. So yeah, we're gonna have it on Earth. There we go. Dodge that. High stance strong attack. As long as you're careful enough, it's not too bad. Counter that. Okay, it's not ideal, but it's fine. Can do some Yatsu no Kami. I'm gonna buff with Purity and change to the Brute. Do that. There we go. Now we're gonna pop Yokai Shift. We're gonna wait for the wake up attack to appear. There we go. Oh, fuck. No. Sorry. Yeah, that was bad. Sorry, I was like... I need water. Ah, man, that was bad. So sadly, I messed up the parry. I've been doing that lately. That's the one point that is actually kind of rough, and I messed it up. Ah, come on. So now I'm not gonna be able to do the strat. So I'm just gonna do the the rest. I'm sad. Okay. Grapple. And switch back to Masaru. I mean to not Masaru. Then Nekomata in this case. Can do some strafing on that attack. Oh, come on. I do it too early, I think. As you can see, the fight is still not too bad without that, but it's not as fast. Yatsu no Kami. Get unlucky. Grapple. Okay, I'm gonna switch. Oh, come on. Okay, that's weird. But he's dead, so it's fine. Oh well. Hopefully in the marathon I would be able to actually show it off properly. I mean, I should, because I would get more practice. It's just that, you know, I've been busy. Anyways. That finishes the first DLC. We're gonna do the second DLC next up. There's no big reason to do one DLC before the other. I just prefer to do them in order. In the category, you need to finish with the last mission of the third DLC. So I would say that starting with the third DLC would be not great. But yeah, let's see. Over here we have another owner of the same sword that Yoshitsune was using, which is the Sohaya sword. And this boss is called Minamoto no Yorimitsu, also known as Raiko. And I got a pretty bad set of items, but you know, I got enough. I didn't have a good combination. Alright. So we're not gonna bother buffing against her either. Yeah, miss hyper armor, for sure. Okay, we're gonna pop Yokai Shift, do a crit counter. As soon as there's movement, parry. GG. That's GG. That's the fight. You always get a different fight, but overall the fight is not too hard. It's not too hard, I would say. Okay, so we're gonna change a little bit the things that we have in the next mission. Because this upcoming boss is... like, basically from this DLC onwards is when they thought, oh, okay, let's make enemies have more hyper armor, do faster attacks that deal a lot of damage, and don't have much recovery frames at all. They basically went with that mentality. So the second DLC and the third DLCs are more concerning in that regard. I guess that's also another reason why you would use you do the first region first, is to get a bit more stuff. I'm pretty sure I did it, but I'm gonna check. Yes, I did. Okay. So for the first time in a while, we're gonna actually not level up stamina, and we're gonna level up magic and heart. Okay, 10 magic, 16 heart. Gonna get lightning stop and barrier talisman. Gonna get that there and that there. Lightning talisman is mainly for the next mission, and barrier talisman is mainly for pretty much everything from now on. So yeah, shoutouts to the Oboroguruma right there. It's a spooky enemy. It was super scary when I first encountered the Oboroguruma in the second DLC. Like, that was... It comes out of nowhere. Alright, so we're gonna mainly use this sword now at the start of this fight. you'll see why. So up with Purity and we get in. Skip the cutscene and use the barrier talisman. Okay, what's that? Okay, give me something good. Something a bit better. Okay, this is good. Okay, so I got everything that I wanted there. Basically, I just wanted to debuff him with Purity. So I can start doing this. And this. Okay, that was a bit concerning. It's fine. I'm gonna flash attack. Flash stance, strong attack. Twice. And then do another Kasha. There we go. That's the Tsuchigumo. It was a bit concerning, but I guess he always is. Okay, now we're gonna do what's probably... It's probably the second longest, or the longest. Haven't really timed them, or I haven't really checked. Mission of the run. Like this is the longest mission of this DLC. It has 3 bosses. We're gonna do a very similar strat that we just did on the first boss. Basically, with the sword, we're covering for the main weakness of the axe, which is the speed of attacking. It's not a fast weapon overall. Most of the usage of the axe is slower attacks, and several bosses of the DLCs are a bit too fast for the axe to be reliable. Yeah, notice the +1, so that's a bit better. So there's some shrines that you can get here, but you kind of have to... They're not very safe to get. Like, the shrine that you can get before this fight is not very safe, so... You're better off just going for the boss. Alright. So we're gonna dash to him. There we go. Okay. Oh, that was unfortunate. I ran out of space. Really weird pattern. Sadly. Of course, it's the one that has the bad shrine. There was another one before Tsuchigumo as well, but that one is even worse. So I don't even consider it. But yeah, that was very unfortunate. Normally the cat doesn't do a burst attack so early. And it kind of put me in a really weird position. Come on. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing as before. Oh, what is that? Okay, I guess I won't do the thing. That's bad. What is going on? Sorry, sometimes the input drops. Okay, we're gonna use Kasha, switch to the axe, and start doing Mad Spinner. And we're gonna do Heaven and Earth. And we don't have enough. Yeah, that's why you want the full one. Oh man. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm gonna use this. We have more than necessary anyways. I'm gonna do this actually. It's too high. Oh man. So basically what happened there is that I didn't have enough anima. I'm supposed to have 10. Or almost 10. So if I don't have that amount, then the setup doesn't really work. I mean, on hindsight, doing the first mission of the third DLC, it's not too bad of an idea. Because you can get the Soul Core box. So the requirements are a bit relaxed for the setups, but ultimately you don't really need them anyways. Okay. Okay. Have the setup. Yeah. Kasha. Okay. Very cool. Kasha. What is going on? Like, I swear this is unbelievable one. I'm gonna use Kasha again. Okay. That's probably the worst section with White Tiger that I've ever had. Oh well. We'll continue. So this shrine is not really a safety shrine. Well, it is, but it doesn't really work only as a safety shrine. There's a room that I'm going to be in within the next 20 seconds. And in that room, in order to make the enemy position consistent, the best way to do that is to rest at that shrine. So that enemy is to the left, right there. So by going to the right, I avoid triggering the enemy AI, triggering the aggro. Okay, and now we're gonna use the Lightning Stop Talisman for this part. We're gonna need it for opening this door. 2, 3, 4. There we go. It's not absolutely necessary, but there's like the RNG is different every time. Like obviously it's RNG. So sometimes you'll need it, other times you're not completely gonna need it, but it's still useful because you're gonna use it in this boss fight after this. Okay, so this boss fight is not too complicated, but he's a bit of a pain. Or he can be quite a bit of a pain. Yes. Okay. So you can see, like, the boss fight itself, not very hard. But some attacks that he can do, or some patterns that he can do, are actually very, very annoying. Okay. That's actually a better katana. It's pretty neat. Gonna go with lightning resistance, with purity, and barrier. Should probably heal, but it's fine. Can do it now. Okay, so she's right next to a wall, so I cannot really get in at that situation. But yeah, this boss is all about lightning, just like the name implies. Alright, gonna wait for one more attack pattern, which is the worst one in this case. The clouds are the worst attack that she can do. Or they can do, I don't know. Okay, shift. Use Kasha. Charge attack, Jetsu no Kami. Burst counter that. Use some more Kasha. What's that? And she's dead. GG. Alright. So besides that section with the cat, not too terrible, I guess. And we're onwards to the last DLC, which is the first samurai. There we go. And this DLC is made of like two main missions, and 3 total bosses. Although, like, you could argue that there's like 5 bosses. But we'll get to that later. So the first thing that I want to do here is set up the accessories, so I have the soul core box. The soul core box is gonna let me use soul cores without having enough anima, as long as I have 1 anima, or 0.1 anima. And give me a debuff that depends on the amount of anima that it will actually cost. Very cool Dojo. Yeah, normally you don't have to fight that dog, but yeah, I had to, because why not? Okay, I'm gonna use 1 there, 2 there. Okay, on upcoming there's a key item surrounded by a bunch of enemies that we're gonna just swiftly avoid. Okay, I'm gonna get a shortcut here, just in case things go south. Especially considering how I'm doing a setup that I'm still not completely used to. Okay, with Purity. I mean, not with Purity, with Warrior Talisman. And enter the boss fight. Let's get the cutscene. Buff with Purity this time. And now let's see. There we go. What's that? I failed to keep holes in time. Okay, change to that. Heaven and Earth. There we go. Okay. Counter that. Counter that as well, so why not? Okay. Very cool. Okay, I got unlucky, because of course we'll have it any other way. Come on. Okay, he's dead. Okay, that was pretty bad. Like I said, I got pretty unlucky. Okay, I'm gonna get some stuff just in case. And I'm gonna use the... What is it called? Lantern Plant Fruit, yes. For getting stuff. Okay, so we're gonna get this safety shrine here. Now we're going to do the Tate Eboshi boss fight. But before I do that, let me use this. Oh, okay, I'll do it later. I'll use 2 of those. That's for the setup. Make sure that my Demon Axe has the better chance of being better. And, okay. Let's see what happens here. 1, 2, Heaven and Earth. Okay, we're gonna switch to the sword. Don't worry about it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna switch to the axe and do Mud Spinner. Once again. Okay, there we go. Some more Kasha, some more Mud Spinner. And right before it runs out, we can use that to finish the fight. Okay, I was a bit lower, and that's what I thought. I thought I was a bit too low on Amrita, but it's fine. I got it. I'll make sure to set up a bit higher my Amrita next time. So yeah, that's the end of the second to last main mission of this run. And we're gonna do to the last mission. It only has 1 boss, but it has 2 mini bosses that are honestly more dangerous than the boss. Thankfully we have some setups for them. Alright, so there's what is it called? Spiting gem here. We're gonna use it very soon. Okay, let me use it now. Bar Tasman. You're supposed to fight that guy, but you can just not. Like, it looks like that you were supposed to like have a force fight there, but they decided to not make it a force fight. Of which I'm glad. It's not like the fight is hard, but yeah. Like, I think of all the mini bosses, or you know, stronger enemies rather, it's probably the easiest one of the main ones here. Okay, I'm gonna use the Respa Lily, but with Bar Tasman as well. We're gonna get the last shrine on the route, but not the last safety shrine. And if everything went more or less proper, then I'll have a very nice stat on stamina. There we go. Nice. Okay, so upcoming there's a fight against a strong yokai called Suiki. And the setup, how it goes is we're gonna try to bait, we're gonna bait a burst attack. Gonna dash to her, Heaven and Earth, burst counter. There we go. No Yatsu no Kami, and that happened. It's fine though. We got it. Okay, what is going on? I'm actually gonna switch to the sword just in case. Man, that was so bad. That was very unlucky. Classic Axel luck. Okay, so I'm gonna use let me say crystal here. I had to go safe. She gave me really weird RNG. Okay, so right here we're gonna start with the sword. I'm gonna buff. Okay, this is not a good start. I was not expecting to break the horn right at the start. That's normally not what happens. There we go. That's better. Let's switch to the axe. Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. Okay, we got it. Getting unfortunate all the time, but still filthy. Okay, we're gonna use I don't know, 2 of this just to fill up a bit. Just do some menu, and we can drop. And this is the last safeties, right? There's a breastplate area right here that we can get just in case. Off with purity. And yeah, this is Nightmare Bringer, which is the final form of Otakemaru, pretty much. Okay, we're gonna hit a little bit more. I said hit a little bit more. And now we're gonna use Yatsu no Kami. Again. There we go. Number 1. 2. And 3. Grapple. Buff. With barrier. And Match Spinner 2. Dodge that. And I got insanely unlucky again. Damn. How predictable. Let's go it again. There we go. Come on. That was a lie and you know it. Okay, Yatsu no Kami. Wow. Another one, because unlucky again. I can't believe this. I actually can't. Oh yes, just ignore my dodge, I guess. Okay, we're gonna use this. And get absolutely destroyed for no reason. Okay, very cool. Zeus, Yatsu no Kami again. Man, that was such a terrible fight. This run has been awful. So yeah, we can finish this. Nice. No. This is the reason why I have these estimates, because you can get so screwed over by the RNG. Anyways, go forward, and the run would end in 3, 2, 1. GG. So yeah, that's the end of the run. It was a bad attempt, but yeah, I guess it serves as an example of the worst. 7 deaths. Yeah, actually less than last time, but I got unluckier, so I don't know. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, that's